In the sprawling expanse of the Intergalactic Council's main assembly hall, an air of anticipation hung heavy. Delegates from thousands of star systems had gathered, their diverse forms casting a mosaic of shadows on the chamber's iridescent floor. Amidst this congress of alien dignitaries, a solitary human, Jamie Teller, a graduate student from Earth, stood nervously adjusting his translator device. Earth was a relatively new member of the Council, and it was rare for someone as young and inexperienced as Jamie to be invited to speak. But his thesis on interstellar diplomacy had caught the eye of Earth's ambassador, who believed it could offer a fresh perspective on galactic peace. The hall dimmed as the presiding officer, a Yorlian whose 6 eyes blinked asynchronously, called the session to order. We now yield the floor to Jamie Teller of Earth to present his insights on the cohesion of multi-species alliances. With a deep breath, Jamie stepped up to the podium. His heart raced as he looked out over the sea of alien faces, some with mild curiosity, others with evident skepticism. Clearing his throat, he began, his voice amplified and translated into myriad languages by his device. "Ladies, gentlemen, and esteemed beings of the Council," Jamie started, his voice steady despite his trembling hands. "Today, I want to address a fundamental principle that underpins our very existence in this diverse and vibrant galaxy: unity in diversity." His words were met with murmurs. Unity was a common enough theme, but many of the veteran diplomats wondered what new perspective a human, especially a young student, could possibly offer. Jamie continued, "We all come from different worlds, different environments. We breathe different air. We may see with different light, and our hearts beat to different rhythms. But amidst these differences, there is a binding force. It's not just our treaties or our trade agreements. It's our shared experiences and mutual needs that truly unite us." He paused, allowing his words to resonate. Then, pulling up a holographic display from his device, he showcased various instances of successful interspecies collaborations that had led to peace treaties and prosperous exchanges. "What we see here," Jamie pointed out, "are not just strategic partnerships. They are the profound results of understanding, respecting, and valuing our differences. These alliances didn't erase our distinctness, they enriched it." A Mertzian delegate, covered in shimmering scales, leaned forward. Their kind was known for being particularly hard to impress, yet something in Jamie's earnestness seemed to pique their interest. "In the past, Earth itself has struggled with conflicts amongst its own people," Jamie admitted, his honesty striking a chord. "But these challenges have taught us the importance of dialogue, of empathy, and of open-mindedness. If we, who share the same air and the same sunlight, needed time to learn how to coexist peacefully, how much more so do we, the varied peoples of this galaxy?" The room was silent now, all eyes fixed on the young human who spoke with unexpected wisdom. "I propose a new initiative," Jamie declared, his voice growing confident. "An intercultural exchange program, not just for diplomats, but for our citizens, to live amongst each other, learn from each other, and perhaps teach each other." He concluded, "Let us consider this not just as a policy for political stability, but as a step towards building a truly united galactic community. Thank you." As Jamie stepped down, the silence lingered for a few heartbeats before the assembly hall erupted into an array of sounds that signified applause in countless alien forms. The young human student had not only delivered his speech, he had ignited a spark of hope and curiosity among the seasoned diplomats of the galaxy. The Yorlian presiding officer, all 6 eyes wide in what one might assume was astonishment, finally regained composure. "Thank you, Jamie Teller of Earth, for your insightful contribution. We will take your proposal under serious consideration." As Jamie returned to his seat, whispers filled the air, many repeating the same sentiment. Earth, it seemed, had much to teach them indeed. The aftermath of Jamie's speech rippled through the corridors of power within the Intergalactic Council's headquarters. Whispers and heated discussions filled the lounges and meeting rooms as representatives from myriad worlds contemplated the implications of his proposal. The idea of an intercultural exchange program, originally seen as a simple educational initiative, had taken on a new dimension of strategic importance. In the opulent office of the Yorlian presiding officer, a high-level strategy session was hastily convened. The office, with its walls pulsating in soft bioluminescent hues, reflected the tension among the gathered officials. The presiding officer, Zelnor, with his 6 eyes reflecting a serious glint, addressed the assembly. "The humans' proposal has merit," Zelnor stated, his voice echoing slightly. "It challenges us to rethink our approach to diplomacy. If we can integrate our populations, perhaps the bonds formed could pave the way for a more profound unity." However, not all were in agreement. A delegate from the Riva sector, a quadrant known for its conservative stance, raised a concern. "While the notion of shared learning is appealing, we must consider security risks. Integrating alien populations could also lead to unrest, espionage, or worse." The room buzzed with nods and murmurs of agreement from some, while others seemed contemplative, weighing the potential risks against the benefits. Meanwhile, back on Earth, news of Jamie's successful speech had reached his university. His professors and peers were astounded, having known Jamie as a brilliant but unassuming student. The media had caught wind of the story, and soon, Jamie was being hailed as a young visionary. Cameras and reporters crowded the campus, eager to capture the thoughts of the new hero of human-alien diplomacy. Amidst this sudden fame, Jamie received a secure communication from the Earth's ambassador to the Council, Marla Henricks. "Jamie, your speech has sparked more than just applause. There are talks of implementing your proposal on a trial basis. The Council is considering a pilot program, and they want you to help oversee its initial phase." Excitement mixed with a hefty dose of anxiety washed over Jamie. This was more than he had ever imagined when drafting his thesis. Back at the Council, the debates continued. A technocratic representative from the machine planet of Silica raised a digital voice. "If we are to proceed, we need structured protocols. We propose creating a detailed framework that addresses cultural sensitivities, security measures, and the logistics of such exchanges." The suggestion was met with general approval, leading Zelnor to assign a committee to draft the preliminary framework. The committee was diverse, including members from biological, mechanical, and energy-based civilizations, each bringing a unique perspective to the table. As the committee convened, Jamie was invited to join via a holographic link. Surrounded by some of the brightest minds in the galaxy, he felt a mix of pride and pressure. Each member introduced their vision of the program, discussing everything from educational content to accommodations for beings with different atmospheric needs. Through the discussion, Jamie realized the enormity of the task ahead. It was not just about sending students or citizens to different worlds. It was about making them feel at home, understood, and valued. It was about bridging galaxies not just with ships and technology, but with hearts and minds. As the meeting drew to a close, Jamie reflected on the path ahead. The journey would be fraught with challenges, but the potential to foster a galaxy-wide community was a dream worth pursuing. With a renewed sense of determination, he prepared for the work ahead, ready to help shape the future of interstellar relations. As the initiative for the Intercultural Exchange Program gained momentum, the Intergalactic Council appointed Jamie as the human liaison for the pilot exchange program. His role involved coordinating with different species and civilizations to tailor the program to suit various environmental and cultural needs. The task was daunting, but Jamie's enthusiasm and dedication were palpable. On Earth, preparations were underway to host the first group of alien visitors. The chosen site was a newly established International Interspecies Cultural Center, IICC, located in a scenic temperate region known for its natural beauty and technological infrastructure. The center was designed to accommodate a wide array of atmospheric and gravitational needs, equipped with state-of-the-art environmental simulators and translation technologies. Jamie, working closely with engineers and xenobiologists, helped oversee the installation of life support systems specific to each visiting species. The attention to detail was crucial. Even a minor oversight could jeopardize the health or comfort of an interstellar guest. Meanwhile, Across the galaxy, prospective participants from various planets were selected. Each was chosen not only for their academic or diplomatic potentials, but also for their open-mindedness and adaptability, traits deemed essential for the success of such an unprecedented exchange. The first group to arrive on Earth included a Florian, a species known for their plant-like physiology and photosynthetic abilities, and a Zentari, a race of beings composed of crystalline structures that communicated through light patterns. Accompanying them were representatives from the aquatic world of Aquarian and the high-gravity planet of Grendel. Jamie greeted them at the IICC with a mix of excitement and nervousness. "Welcome to Earth," he announced through the universal translator, his voice echoing slightly in the vast atrium of the center. "We hope your stay here not only teaches you about humanity, but also about the shared values that unite us all." The visitors were curious and eager, their eyes, or their species equivalents, absorbing every detail of their new surroundings. Initial interactions were cautious but cordial, as both hosts and guests navigated the complexities of intercultural etiquette. The program's curriculum was diverse, ranging from academic lectures and technological demonstrations to cultural excursions and social interactions. Jamie had insisted on including informal gatherings and leisure activities, believing that true understanding often occurred outside structured environments. As days turned into weeks, the participants began to share more than just knowledge. They shared stories, laughter, and occasionally their personal challenges and fears about the program. A Florian named Talor expressed during a group discussion, "In sharing our vulnerabilities, we find strength. This program, I believe, is not just about learning to live together. It's about learning to trust each other." Back at the council, the progress of the exchange was closely monitored. The initial reports were overwhelmingly positive, prompting discussions about expanding the program. However, not everyone was convinced. Skeptics pointed out the smooth beginning might be a novelty effect, and real challenges could surface as the novelty wore off. Despite these concerns, the success stories from the IICC began to influence perceptions across galaxies. Other planets expressed interest in hosting similar centers, and a wave of optimism swept through the council. As the pilot program neared its conclusion, Jamie prepared for the final event, a symposium where participants would share their experiences and insights. The event was not only meant to evaluate the program, but also to set a precedent for future exchanges. The night before the symposium, Jamie looked out over the illuminated grounds of the IICC, reflecting on the bonds that had been formed. The program had started as an idea, a thesis, but it had grown into a living, thriving testament to the power of understanding and cooperation. Tomorrow, as they shared their stories with the galaxy, they would not just be speaking as delegates or students. They would be speaking as pioneers of a new era of interstellar unity. The day of the symposium arrived with a sense of ceremony and significance. Representatives from various corners of the galaxy, along with diplomats and scholars from Earth, filled the grand auditorium at the International Interspecies Cultural Center. The air was charged with a mix of excitement and apprehension as the participants prepared to share the outcomes of their intercultural experiences. Jamie, as the human liaison and a central figure in the program's implementation, opened the symposium. Standing at the podium, he looked out over the audience, his heart swelling with pride and hope. Today marks a milestone not just for those of us here at the IICC, but for all beings across our vast galaxy. Jamie began, his voice steady and clear. We embarked on this journey with a vision of unity and understanding, and while we have faced challenges, the stories we will hear today are a testament to our collective desire for peace and cooperation. One by one, the participants took the stage to share their experiences. Talor, the Florian delegate, spoke of her deep emotional connection with Earth's nature, paralleling it to her own world's forests. Her speech, filled with poetic descriptions of Earth's landscapes, resonated with many, illustrating the emotional impact of cross-cultural and planetary appreciation. Chris, the Zentari, presented next. Their communication through light and color was translated into words and images on the screen behind them. Chris detailed the technological exchanges that had taken place, highlighting the advancements that could benefit multiple worlds. Their presentation was technical but illuminated the practical benefits of the exchange, from engineering collaborations to shared scientific research. An Aquarian delegate named Jehu shared a different story, one of initial struggle. Adapting to an environment so different from his aquatic home had been challenging, and he spoke candidly about the feelings of isolation and frustration he'd experienced. But his story turned hopeful as he recounted the efforts his Earth hosts had made to accommodate his needs, creating a specially designed water habitat at the center. Jehu's experience underscored the importance of sensitivity and adaptability in such exchanges. Finally, Greta from Grendel, a planet with high gravitational forces, shared her perspective. Coming from a world where physical strength was a necessity, she found Earth's lower gravity disorienting at first. However, she spoke of the friendships she formed and how they helped her navigate her new environment. Her story was a poignant reminder of the personal growth and interspecies friendships that had blossomed. After the presentations, a panel discussion was held, featuring experts from various fields discussing the future implications of the program. The dialogue was rich and varied, with points raised about the logistical needs to scale up the program and the importance of maintaining an ongoing commitment to the values it espoused. As the symposium drew to a close, Jamie returned to the podium to give the final remarks. "Today, we've heard voices from across the stars," he said, his voice filled with emotion. "Voices that were once unfamiliar to us, but now speak of shared dreams and common goals. The journey doesn't end here, it merely evolves. We stand at the threshold of a new era in intergalactic relations, one where we move forward not just as allies, but as a family." The applause that followed was not just in recognition of the day's presentations, but also for the future possibilities these exchanges could foster. Outside the auditorium, as the participants mingled, the air was alive with conversations in dozens of languages and formats, from sonic pulses to holographic displays. Ideas were exchanged, along with contact information, in the hope of continuing the dialogue. As the crowd began to disperse, Jamie stepped outside, looking up at the stars that dotted the evening sky. Each star represented a world of possibilities, and for the first time those distant lights seemed a little closer to home. The symposium had not only bridged worlds but had ignited a beacon of hope for a united interstellar future. In the weeks following the symposium, the success stories and heartfelt testimonials circulated through the Council's communication channels, reaching far-flung star systems and igniting interest in the intercultural exchange program. The initial pilot at the IICC had proven to be a beacon, a demonstration of the potential for deeper, more profound interstellar relationships. Galvanized by the program's success, the Intergalactic Council, with Jamie now acting as a key advisor, decided to expand the initiative. Plans were drawn up to establish additional cultural centers on various member planets, each designed to reflect the unique environmental and societal needs of their hosts and visitors alike. Jamie was invited to the Council's headquarters to discuss the expansion strategy. The meeting was a convergence of some of the most influential figures in the galaxy, and Jamie, despite his rising familiarity with high-stakes diplomacy, felt the weight of the responsibility. The session focused on selecting locations for the new centers, considering factors like political stability, environmental diversity, and the willingness of local populations to engage with alien visitors. During the discussions, a seasoned diplomat from the planet Vix, known for its vast libraries and commitment to knowledge preservation, proposed an interesting addition to the program. "What if," the diplomat suggested, "in addition to cultural exchanges, we establish a galaxy-wide digital library, a repository of knowledge accessible to all participants, encompassing not only scientific and technological information, but also cultural histories and artistic expressions from every civilization?" The proposal was met with enthusiastic approval, and Jamie was tasked with overseeing a committee to bring the digital library to life. The project was ambitious, aiming to facilitate not only understanding and cooperation, but also to serve as a safeguard for the cultural heritages of countless civilizations, especially those on the brink of extinction or undergoing rapid transformation. Back on Earth, the news of the program's expansion was received with a mix of pride and concern. While many celebrated the initiative's success and the spotlight on Earth as a key player in interstellar diplomacy, others worried about the implications of such deep integration with alien cultures. Jamie found himself in town halls and interviews, addressing these concerns, emphasizing the mutual benefits and the safeguards in place to maintain sovereignty and respect for all participants. As construction began on the new centers, Jamie visited several locations, from the aquatic worlds where entire facilities needed to be submerged underwater, to planets with atmospheres composed of gases toxic to humans, requiring special biodomes for Earth visitors. Each visit was a learning experience, an opportunity to engage with local engineers and cultural experts to ensure that the centers would be true to the spirit of their locales. One particular visit to a small, lesser-known planet called Ilara was especially memorable. Ilara was a world of vast deserts and towering rock formations, with a close-knit community wary of outsiders. Their initial resistance was palpable, but as Jamie engaged with them, sharing his own experiences and the successes of the Earth Center, the leaders slowly warmed to the idea. They agreed to host a center, intrigued by the prospect of showcasing their rich traditions and unique adaptations to their harsh environment. As the new centers took shape, Jamie organized a series of virtual exchanges between Earth students and their counterparts across the galaxy, fostering early connections and building excitement for the expanded program. These virtual meetups were filled with laughter and learning, breaking down barriers even before physical visits began. With each successful step, the galaxy felt increasingly interconnected, a network of cultures and knowledge expanding more dynamically than ever before. Jamie, once a simple student with a bold idea, now found himself at the heart of a galactic transformation, watching as his vision became a cornerstone of a new era of understanding and unity among the stars. The galaxy-wide expansion of the intercultural exchange program had reached a pivotal stage. Cultural centers were operational on over a dozen planets, each becoming a vibrant hub of cross-species interaction and collaboration. The digital library, now a colossal repository of galactic knowledge, had just gone live, accessible to anyone across the Council's domains. It was a testament to the vision and hard work of countless individuals, with Jamie at the forefront as a driving force for change. On Earth, the International Interspecies Cultural Center had become a landmark site, a symbol of Earth's commitment to galactic diplomacy and cooperation. Its success had spurred similar developments globally, with countries vying to contribute to and benefit from the interstellar community. Jamie stood on the balcony of the IICC, overlooking the sprawling complex buzzing with activity. Today marked the one-year anniversary of the program's pilot phase, and a grand celebration was planned. Dignitaries from various planets, participants of the program, and key figures in interstellar diplomacy were gathering to commemorate this milestone. As the celebration commenced, the air was filled with a harmonious blend of Earth and alien music, an auditory symbol of the unity achieved through the program. Jamie, tasked with giving the keynote speech, stepped up to the podium, his heart full of emotions. He looked out over the crowd, seeing familiar faces from past exchanges and new ones eager to join future programs. "Ladies, gentlemen, and esteemed beings from across the stars," Jamie began, his voice echoing with a mixture of pride and awe. "When we first envisioned this program, we saw it as a bridge between worlds, cultures, and hearts. Today, as we stand together, we celebrate not just the bridge we've built, but the journey we've embarked on together." He continued, "This program has taught us invaluable lessons about the strength found in diversity, the wisdom in listening, and the bonds that form when we dare to reach across the unknown. We've seen firsthand that while the universe is vast and varied, the common threads that unite us are stronger than the differences that divide us." The applause was thunderous, reverberating through the complex, as representatives from different species nodded in agreement, their expressions ranging from human smiles to luminescent glows of alien faces. Jamie introduced a holographic display showing highlights from the past year, scenes of Earth children teaching alien visitors how to play terrestrial sports, Scholars from distant worlds engaged in deep academic discussions, and artists from across the galaxy collaborating on a monumental mosaic that depicted the Council's diverse membership. The mosaic behind me, Jamie explained, represents each civilization in the Council, each piece distinct but crucial to the whole. Like the mosaic, our galaxy is more beautiful and more robust because of our diversity. The event also served as a platform to announce new initiatives, including specialized programs for younger students and expanded research collaborations focusing on environmental sustainability across different planetary ecosystems. As the night drew to a close, fireworks lit up the Earth's sky, mirrored by synchronized light shows on other worlds, viewable through live feeds at the event. It was a galaxy-wide celebration, a shared moment of joy and unity. Reflecting on the journey, Jamie felt a profound sense of accomplishment and optimism. The intercultural exchange program had started as a bold idea, a mere hope for a better, more united galaxy. Now it was a reality, influencing lives and policies across star systems. As the guests departed, promises to meet again, whether on Earth or elsewhere in the galaxy, filled the air. Jamie watched as old friends and new acquaintances shared farewells, their spirits high with the promise of future encounters. Looking up at the stars, Jamie felt a connection to each light that twinkled back at him, a silent acknowledgement of the invisible threads that now linked them. The galaxy felt smaller, warmer, and infinitely more hopeful, a community bound by shared dreams and the unending quest for knowledge and understanding. This was not an end, but a new beginning, a dawn of an era where the galaxy was truly one.